There were a couple of factors that came together perfectly for the 1963 commencement. One was the fact that the faculty was very frustrated that they weren't able to pursue doctoral programs. And that was when Professor Henry Jansen, a political science professor, came up with the idea that if they gave out an honorary doctorate, it would open the floodgates. He tells his office mate, Ned Joy. Ned immediately contacts President Love. President Love contacts Governor Pat Brown. And it was a few weeks later.
We're at the baseball game between Baltimore and Washington, and I sold him on the idea of coming out here.
And Kennedy really liked the idea because California was incredibly strategic.
The day that the president came, I remember very, very clearly in my mind. I remember just sort of slipping out one of the side gates of school. And what I remember most of all as I slipped through that fence was looking down, and you could see the entire bowl. And I remember just being amazed at the number of people that were there. For me, it was almost like a pinpoint day. I was just focused on one thing, which was getting as close to that president as I could possibly get. I don't remember a word he said. I just remember all of a sudden he was there.
I want to express a very strong sense of appreciation for the honor that you have given to me today to be an instant graduate of this distinguished college is greatly appreciated, and I'm delighted to participate in what is a most important ceremony in the lives of us all.
What I most remember was looking up and seeing that he didn't have a mortarboard on. There was just this marvelous head of red hair, and him speaking, and it was that image, seeing this red hair shining in the sun. And it was like copper wire, it was like electricity. And he was there and speaking. And I just remember the feeling of intensity in the crowd at the time. And then all of a sudden, he was gone. The helicopters were there whirling around, and off he went.
So I used to actually work for the Daily Aztec. Down in the basement of the Daily Aztec, there's this great photograph of the newspaper at that point in time with President Kennedy's photograph on the front cover. And so I'd always seen that, and when we got to this year, I talking about it over with my parents actually, and my mom was like, well, hey, then it's the 50th anniversary of when he spoke at SDSU, and a light went on, and I was like, we need to do something for this. And there was actually some people around the university that it was on their minds as well. So actually there were a couple different plaques that were stolen from the Aztec Bowl. So that marked the Aztec Bowl as one of the last places that John F. Kennedy spoke before he was assassinated. The things that he talked about in his speech were about, he was praising California as a state for putting all the importance they did on education. And by doing this rededication plaque, we really get to show that we still do care about education, that it is of utmost importance to San Diego State and the San Diego community.
No country can possibly move ahead, no free society can possibly be sustained unless it has an educated citizenry.